Hey YouTubers, it's your buddy Platt. And today I'm drinking a beer from Belgium, the Gulden Draak 9000 Quadruple. This is definitely a big beer. It comes in at 10.7 ABV. And I want to kind of focus on the last term, the Quadruple. If you're unfamiliar with Belgian beers, you know there's tons of styles. And they have certain, kind of like the German, certain verbiage that kind of tells you what the beer's about. This one being a quadruple tells you it's a big beer. It's going to be between 9% and 13% ABV. There's three styles in this kind of subcategory. There's a double or Duvel, a triple, which they spell it T-R-I-P-E-L, or a quad or a quadruple. A double, best way to think about this line of beers is you start with a double. It's bigger than a regular standard kind of pale ale. Way they bump up their beers, and ABV wise it's going to be 6.5 to around 8 or so, is instead of additional malt, they add candied sugars. In a double, the candied sugars will be slightly caramelized, so you're going to get a little darkness in your beer. They do increase the hops a little bit, but don't think of it as like an IPA. You're not going to get as much hoppiness through. But they do try to maintain a balance, so there is additional hops, but the maltiness is going to come through. And that's your double. A triple is an even bigger beer, 8.0 to 12 ABV, but they will use uncaramelized candy sugar, so the beer is going to be lighter in color and kind of lighter in flavor itself. It'll be a kind of a dark gold instead of a brown color like the doubles. And but it's going to be higher in alcohol content, more malty. Good example of a similar style, like a Belgian strong ale, like a Duvel. They think of kind of in that frame. And then what I'm drinking today is a quadruple, which is going to go back to the caramelized candy sugars. We're adding to the grain barrel. We're adding to the fermentables, and that gets us to that 9.0 to 13.0 ABV range, and it's going to be darker in color even still. So we kind of progress up the ladder, and this is the top of the ladder at 10.7. We're not going to get too much bigger than that. So let me pop this open, and let's give her a pour. Alrighty, you see kind of the darker caramel, a nice head. These Belgian beers are always well carbonated, and right on the nose you're already picking up that maltiness. You're not getting much of the hot bitterness, even though, like I said, they'll try to maintain balance. It's definitely if you the equivalent of an IPA, double IPA, Russian stout with the same ABV is going to have a lot more hops than what you're getting on this. Let's give her a try. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Kind of medium bodiness. It's not. It's like I said. They're progressing from a lighter Belgian style ale. You definitely feel a little bit of the warming from the alcohol. It's a little slightly thicker, but again, it's not as big as some of the big barley wines or stuff like that. When you start getting above 10.0 ABV, that's kind of running into. This is a nice drinker. You definitely pick up the candied sugars. As typical of Belgians too. You pick up some of the fruity esters, the yeast funkiness. Overall, this is a nice beer. 10.7, you're not going to probably have too many of them, but once you do, we'll set you right. I just wanted to try that beer. I've seen that, and I've been kind of wanting to review those beer styles for a while. And if you're into beer styles, what I want to talk to you today about is a great way to learn beer styles, kind of help me out, is Cicerone training. If you've never heard the term Cicerone, think of it as the beer equivalent to becoming a sommelier. It's popular in the wine world. There's a website called Cicerone.org, and I'll throw a link up to it, that you can learn about the training. They have 4 different levels. They have Cicerone Certified Beer Server, which I am, and it takes you just through the basics of how to handle beer, pour beer, the basic stylings. Then you can work your way up to 3 levels of Cicerone: Cicerone, Advanced Cicerone, and Master Cicerone. And it gets even more intricate in there. There's a lot of more reading. They do an online class, but you supplement it through some readings. And when you start to do the Cicerone and Advanced Cicerone, you are advised to do some tasting panels and be able to learn how to taste off-flavored beers, whether the carbonation's off, whether the beer's been kept in wrong temperature, stuff like that. But it's really a great way to learn the different beer styles and improve your knowledge of the beer, especially if you're in the business. You work at one of these, places that specialize in craft beer, a chain maybe like a Yard House per se, or if you want to get into the craft brewing business yourself, even just not from the brewing side, but from the serving side of the beer, being able to talk styles with guests. That's a great kind of a front of the house approach to the brewing business. But it's called, the website, Cicerone.org, and like I said, it's a great way to learn more about beer and beer styles and the serving of beer. Well, I hope you liked this video, and if you did, feel free to subscribe down below. Also, feel free to share the videos with your friends. And as always, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can leave them in the comment section or contact me on the Twitter page. Well, until next time, bottoms up.